Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Star Trek Discovery Season 1, Episode 7. It's called Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. A little bit of news, firstly, actually, though. Something that's changed about this show since the last time we spoke about it. Well, it may have changed before then, but I found out about it since last time.
Things don't count until you find out about them, do they?
Well, you didn't know about it either.
Did I not?
Well,
I
no.
don't know what you're going to say.
Well,
So
of course not. But I assumed you would have mentioned this to me had you found this out. I found this out like yesterday. I just kept it for the video. I thought, I'll just mention it then. Yeah. So originally we were ending episode 8 before the break. That is no longer the case. And now we're ending episode 9 before the break. So we got an extra one.
oh, well, okay, that is news to me.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh, I'll give you that one.
I bring gifts.
I'm not sure it's a gift.
Well, it's fine. It's okay news. I think what was interesting though is someone who works on the show. I saw someone, I think it was on Twitter, said that nine's a better cliffhanger to leave it on anyway. So
That makes sense. I like it for now. I'm more concerned about when it comes back if it'll feel really short.
it'll feel pretty short anyway because it'll be what 6 episodes when we come back. But I mean, is that any really? I mean, it's not that long a break, right? Because it's kind of in this weird mid range where it's like it's not as long as the stupid Walking Dead like going away
But
for
it's
months.
too long to be just the Christmas break.
It's still only be the Christmas break, but at least 6 coming back and having 6 is not that different to a network show because they have breaks a bit more
Well, they
frequently.
do. They do.
And you come back and you get like 3 at a time, then it goes another break for a couple of weeks, and it's so I don't know. It's kind of a weird middle ground, but I mean, if it gives us a better cliffhanger, then I think
I'm all for it, yeah.
that's the better option. So yeah, so we have 2 more after this now before the break instead of just the one. So there you go. So that was the news. So I'll start off by saying I think this is the best episode of the show so far.
I agree strongly.
Um, Despite one thing feeling very on Star Trek, it's also the most Star Trekky of all the episodes in terms of plot. The core premise of this episode, in which Harry Mudd, hardcore Fenton Mudd, he has a time crystal that's letting him stuck the ship in a time loop, and he's basically using all these time loops to try and figure out how to work all the the technology with the proto stuff and all that. And he's the spores, and he's trying to figure out that, and he's also having some fun killing the captain over and over and over again. And time keeps resetting and going back. This plot felt like a Star Trek episode. And
Yeah, it was gloriously fun.
and it's probably the first time it's really felt, and that's not a criticism per se, but it was like, man, I'm having fun with this, and I don't know if I've had this much fun so far in this show.
No, I agree. And even before that stuff started, early on, where in the very first instance that we see, where she's on about the space whale. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like, oh, it's almost extinct. We have to rescue it, and we've got to transport it. That felt really Star Trekky as well.
That idea feels Star Trekky. The fact that it's specifically a whale also feels very Star Trekky. If you've seen Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home, which I know Connor hasn't, but you got that to look forward to. Whales are a big part of the plot.
I'm down.
They use whales for things.
Space whales are awesome.
They're not space whales; they're regular whales.
No,
But
okay, less awesome.
still, you never need to guess how the whales factor into the plot. You'll never guess it. in a
I
million
am
years.
I am intrigued how whales are a part of Star Trek.
You'll never guess, but you gotta look forward to. So all that's very Star Trekky. The actual Harry Mudd stuff was great. The line "You're mad." No, I'm Mudd. Smile across my face.
Can I just say I love that his suit with the helmet when he comes out of the
Oh,
space
it's
whale.
this stupid looking bug thing.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's so like it's almost verging on awful in that sense. It's like it's so ridiculous that it's like this is intentionally meant to look stupid.
well, that's the thing. I think it does look awful, but because it's Harry Mudd, it works. Had someone else taken that helmet off, and I was supposed to take them seriously in a traditional sense, I'd be like, "Nah, you've lost your credibility." But with Harry Mudd, I'm like, "Nah, this kind of fits his style.
Exactly.
This fits his personality. This works." So when I said something else, there was one thing that felt very un-Star Trekky. Just the party they're at the start of each time loop itself, and there's like
Yeah.
modern music playing, and they're all getting drunk and like playing beer pong. I'm like, yeah, this does not feel Star Trek at all. Like,
No.
there's zero. Like, it's almost weird that there's some of them are wearing Star Trek
You
uniforms.
say modern music. Wasn't the Bee Gees staying alive at one point?
You know, one of the tracks did sound kind of Bee Gees-ish. I don't know if it was that specific song though, because I didn't recognize the tune, but I recognized the that noise,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sing, but it wasn't the same tune. I don't think.
I'm struggling to remember now. I'm sure
But
I remember thinking it at the point.
before that, there was some hip hop playing though, so that was
Yeah,
relatively
yeah.
modern. I don't know what song it was or when it came out, but relatively modern. So it just I'm like okay, right, this it was just funny because that was the start of the episode. I'm like, okay, this is like we've already had F-bombs and stuff, but this is probably the most on Star Trek it's ever felt. I'm seeing Starfleet officers play beer pong, and then the plot gets going, and it becomes the most Star Trek this show has ever been.
Yeah, it's so strange, but I actually really love this episode.
It was good fun, and I think they used it to give us some more stuff with the characters. And I think what's funny as well is that people keep saying in the comments to us after the last, because we keep doubting Lorca. Really, oh, Lorca's suspicious. He's up to something. He's from an alternate universe. There's something going on, and everyone keeps saying, no, but Ash is suspicious. Like the way they found him, and he was there for 7 months, and the way he's dodging some questions. And I'm like, I feel like this episode. I mean, they could still twist it later and say, oh, he's actually got some other motive or something like that. But this episode to me really feels like no, they're actually trying to like build him as part of the crew and build him as an interest for. Now I can see the twist having an effect because Michael cares about him, but
Yeah, that's why I actually became more suspicious. I've
okay.
been, we haven't really mentioned it, but I'm kind of he had a base level suspicion just based on all those things, but it wasn't as interesting as Lorca. So, and everyone's going, oh, he's
Yeah,
suspicious. They're telling us that, so I didn't really care.
Yeah, it was an obvious suspicion. Like it was kind of on the surface, whereas Lorca there's a lot more interesting things to talk about.
Right.
It's
But so I thought they wouldn't bother because it's too easy. But now after this, I'm like, okay, maybe it's more interesting now.
yeah. So having Michael bond quite a bit throughout the episode. There's, like, we find out she doesn't like small talk. She doesn't like parties. Which, by the way, I'm with her on both fronts, 100%.
Yep.
Tilly can go away, right?
Although I do love Tilly in this as well.
No, I like Tilly a lot. I'm just saying that her opinion about her having to mingle and enjoy the party that can vamoosh
Yes.
away from
Please.
me. But you've got all this party stuff. In one of the time loops, like Stamets, because of his modification, that so he can work with the spores. He is outside the time loop. He remembers every time it resets, as does Harry Mudd, of course. Otherwise, his plan wouldn't
Also,
work.
you know how when he injected himself, and we were having a bit of a debate as to whether he had to keep doing it or if it was permanent.
Yeah.
We're in agreement now that it was permanent. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I'd kind of forgotten that debate, to be honest, and I just wasn't thinking about it. But yeah, sure. You win.
Yeah. I
Fine.
just want to bring it back up because.
Although I feel like you kind of win. I feel like there's been more stuff done because they've built like a little thing into him. It almost looks like, they've added to it to try and make it better. So I feel like it's permanent, but they keep modifying it to refine it.
Yeah, but he talks about how his DNA's changed.
Aye, sure, okay, right, fine. You win that one. Okay, have the
Oh
victory.
yeah, like you never bring up ones that you're winning.
When I win one, we'll find out.
It's not gonna happen.
You just said it happens every time I win one, so it's obviously happened enough before.
Shut up.
So Stamets is remembering things, and he's running around. He's been very wacky, and I love the idea that we see I don't know 4 or 5 loops in the episode overall, but you get the impression that there's a lot in between the ones we actually see because Stamets is he's aware of things. He's quickly getting to Michael. He's saying, and he's like, okay, tell me a secret so that I can quickly convince you next time because we've only got 30 minutes per time. I can't do this whole speech every single time. Yeah, I have to convince you quickly.
Yeah, and Harry at one point says, Harry Harcourt, don't know where that came from, says 53 times he's killed.
Well, no, he's still Harry Mudd. He's called Harry.
He
Mudd.
is Harry, yeah.
That's not a mistake.
I don't know why I'm doubting myself.
Let's continue.
Yeah,
what did he say?
He says he's killed Lorca 53 times.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. He actually confirms the number of it. But even before that, you're kind of there's been times in between because it's he's too Stamets knows too much. He's experienced it too many times. He's like, oh, this is about the time the captain gets killed. He knows exactly.
I really like that it's slightly different each time as well. Because we see the first one, and she, Michael runs into Stamets, literally runs into him.
That one is Joe I like as well. Is I think that makes sense because Stamets remembers, so it's him knowing that affects that being different. Likewise, the way the captain dies every time is different because that's Harry that's changing that every time because he's the one who remembers. It's like everyone else does the exact same thing unless one of those people who remembers starts a chain reaction of events that changes things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
I like
it's
that.
interesting, isn't it?
So, that's cool stuff. Um, so no, it was just fun, and like, it was kind of like how, okay, technically this is horrific because the ship's exploding like constantly over and over again, and people are dying, but the way that Stamets and even Michael and certainly Harry are treating it make it feel a bit more jovial. It's a bit more fun. It's like, all right,
Yeah, but
damn it.
because even they're like, well, yeah, he's gonna blow us all up, but we're just gonna come back again, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because Harry actually gets what he wants at one point, and Michael, and it's I don't want to spoil the movie per se, but it's funny that this episode came out just like a couple of weeks after Happy Death Day, which is a Groundhog Day esque movie where she's repeating the same day over and over, and she's getting killed at the end of each day. It's funny how there's a couple of plot beats that mirror that movie just a little bit, and to an extent Groundhog Day, but there's one thing in particular that really reminded me of Happy Death Day. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to say what it is.
I'm sure anyone who's seen it will know what on earth you're talking about.
Yeah, for obvious spoilers' sake. But yeah, so at one point Harry actually he gets what he wants because he wants to sell the ship to the Klingons. He's going to steal the ship, figure out how it works, and and the captain's even alive in this time period. And Michael decides, wait a minute, there's something more valuable, and she goes into him and says, yeah, by the way, I'm Michael. I'm the one who started all this war. I killed their their like emperor, their emperor Klingon. So you know what? I'm more valuable than that. Oh, so those poison things, I'm going to eat those. So he has to reset the day because she wants to save Ash. Because they can fix it right now potentially, but it wouldn't bring anyone who's died back. So she has to get through the day or the 30
You have
minutes.
to make him reset. Yeah.
Because he's the only one who can reset. And we know when he can't anymore because he actually like his bracelet thing disintegrates and it's like, okay, that's it. We're out the time loop now. We're back. So the stakes are high. And he's a bit of an idiot because he accepts. The captain just kind of surrenders and gives him what he wants. And it's like, okay, right, they're conning him, and he even thinks they're conning him, but
he still goes along with it anyway.
It's his ego. He thinks he's won. He's too busy enjoying the fact that he's like getting sucked up to.
Oh, that's true. That's Mud for you.
That's Harry Mudd. And delightfully, his wife to be, not quite married yet. Was it Stella? Is that
Stella?
Yeah.
And Joe, that was the moment where early on I was like, maybe this is the mirror universe because he was like, I really want to get back to Stella. That was his driving thing that he was telling us. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like what we know of him.
And then they find out that he's actually on the run from Stella, and and again, talking about how this was feeling really Star Trek-y, they go into the, when they beam in, and they're in the, I feel we've been in the teleport room before, but we've never really spent a full scene in it. It's always been a quick, boom, we're in and out. And
yeah.
They arrive in the teleporter room, and the outfit she's wearing feels very 60s Star Trek. It's this colourful, bright, kind of, regal-looking thing, and her father's there. And she's very loving, and Harry, like, sort of goes along and says, oh, I was out to... I was trying to right my wrongs. I was
clear my good name.
I was a devious character, and I wanted to make sure I was a full, whole man again before I married you. It's like, that's fine, Harry. I know you're awful. I like you anyway. So you're going to come and marry me. And they basically say, all right, you know what? You look always Starfleet anything, sir. You know what? If you just keep Harry with your daughter in check, just keep him there and out of trouble, we're fine. Like, just, which I almost thought was a bit light, given that they knew he'd murdered the captain like 50 plus times. Like, as much as it got reset, it's like, well, he was still doing lots of really, really, really awful things.
No, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, he was doing all the things, but you can't charge him with it because no one's dead now.
Sure, it's almost like going against the fun of the episode if you really stop and think about it. But he was just brutally murdering people left and right. He was like shooting all the the other officers running around. He was just murdering people in droves. And it's all, it got reset, but he was still willing to do that.
Yep, no, that's true. And he must have murdered whoever brought on the space whale, even on this time, right?
I don't know. I didn't get the impression he always came from inside, because when he first appears, he comes from inside the space. I think that's the first time he gets on the ship.
Okay, I'm with you.
I think after that, whenever he resets, he's wherever he wants to be.
The ship.
Yeah.
Okay, he's wherever he was, sort of thing. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, I think that was the first time, and then after that, because when Stamets bumps into Michael, like, he doesn't seem to know anything at that point. He's just kind of, he's excited about everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, then next time it's like, no, he really knows what's going on. So I think it's the first time
That makes sense.
Uh, so no, so it's almost old school, but she does, Stella becomes the ball and chain. She's like, no, you're coming with me, Harry, and Harry's like, oh, fine, and he's getting dragged back to be married.
Yeah.
Was wonderful. This may be the last we see of Harry. I feel like this could potentially be him wrapped up for
It
now.
might well be, but I feel like this episode justified it.
Or having him
You know,
around.
like
Yeah.
after that first one with him, it was like, okay, that was cool, but we were expecting more. It's like I need more. Whereas this is like, okay, if that's it now, that was enough to be worth it for the season. You know, like I don't need
Yeah.
more than that.
I could see maybe if they want to bring him back, like they end up having to like deal with some like sort of seedy people, and it turns out Harry knew these people, so they go to Harry to like consult. It's like, all right, Harry, you're coming with us, but no funny business, and that could be an episode down the line.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
can see it.
Whether it's this season or beyond, because we have season 2 of this coming now. I don't know if that happened after the last episode review,
I think
but
it might have done.
yeah, but we got season 2 confirmed, so that's fun stuff. So character stuff. Michael and Ash kissed and danced, and hell, Stamets danced with her first. It was kind of like I like the idea. It was kind of teaching her to dance because she'd never really done it, and then
But no, she was gonna forget all of it anyway.
yeah, but almost instinctively, it was almost like deep down, she still like muscle memory, still kind of kept it somehow
Yeah,
in a weird way. But it was a nice moment there. But he's like, oh, it's a shame we lost our first kiss. Because Stamets spilled the beans and told him everything. Because Stamets were learning and can't keep his mouth shut.
I'm really growing to like Stamets.
I'm going to like
He's
Stamets.
a lot of fun.
Stamets is good. Tilly's good. And then I think this episode did a lot to make me like Michael and Ash more than I had done. Because they were fine, but they were maybe a bit more blank in a larger scale way. Whereas here, there was like some moments where she was nervous, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually getting ups and downs with her. I'm getting character beats beyond the usual, just kind of brooding, oh, I murdered lots of people. Or
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit weird because we started with the voiceover from her.
Which we've not had yet, yeah.
And I thought this was a bit strange. Don't know if I really wanted that. But then by the end of the episode, I was like, it didn't really matter too much because she grew.
And also Star Trek-y to have the main
No, it
character
is.
do some voiceover. And she even calls Tilly her friend. How
She
sweet.
does. Yeah.
How sweet. She's got a friend. The plot was fun. It was full of stuff. The big space whale looked kind of cool as well.
I think, and I think this is the first episode. You know how, like, if you want to tell someone, okay, what's the episode of the show that you go, okay, that's the one that you want to look at and go, this is if you like it or not, sort of thing. But you need like a standalone episode to do that. This feels like that's the one where you go, look, it can be fun.
Yeah, assuming we get more with this tone later to say, okay, this is kind of a big, if this is like a one-off where we never return to this style again, then it'd maybe be a weird one to say because it's like, well, it's not really representative of what the show is overall. But assuming we get more, and that, I hope we do it because I do think this has been the best episode because this was kind of a nice meld of the modern stuff with a sort of more old school Star Trek idea. Just something a little bit fun, some simple little mechanic, and then you had fun characters like Harry running around doing his thing. I especially love when he was talking to the computer. He's like, Captain, Captain's log, hardcore Fenton Mud. And he's, giving his orders and whatnot.
I had a lot of fun. Do you know how on our news video, we at the end of each week, we kind of pick our favorite episode of the week. And for the most part right now, it's been Mr. Robot.
Because Mr. Robot's exceptional.
Right. And last week, I said, I kind of didn't want to give it to Mr. Robot because it was maybe the weakest episode of the season so far, and I was like, okay, if there's a week where I can give it to something else, it would have been that week.
But none of the other shows stepped their game up to actually do it though. So Mr. Robot still won.
But if this episode had been last week, I think I'd have given it to this.
Which of course means this week's Mr. Robot is going to be one of the best episodes of TV we've ever seen.
So this is I just wanted to put that here so this gets some acknowledgement, just to that recognition that no, this did do something really good this episode. It took a good step in the right direction, and it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I concur. This was a shorter discussion, but I feel like it was a more straightforward episode. I mean, obviously, it's not straightforward in the sense that it's looping back in time.
Yeah, but it wasn't really teasing any of the overarching things other than the character relationships.
Which is good. I think the show needed some time to devote to just the characters and let the characters grow a little bit. Also, I did enjoy there was some running jokes as well every time it looped, where like Michael and Ash wouldn't be on the bridge, and like Lorca kept like, where the hell are those two, and like he'd say it a different way every time. And there was also the joke where he'd keep calling it a whale and like, or sea life. He'd call it sea life, and then like
No, it's
Saru,
a fish. You call it a fish.
because of a fish, yeah. Which even an actual whale's not a fish.
Yeah.
But Saru's like, technically, sir, it's not. Saru.
Yeah. I also really enjoyed the montage of Mud killing the captain over and over.
Oh yeah, especially the one where he's eating a sandwich as he's doing it.
Yeah. I also thought it was really well edited because it kind of just flows as one long thing. It
Yeah,
doesn't like cut them up.
Yeah, so he sort of walks through the scene, kills the captain, and then turns around and kills him again.
Yeah, I thought it was really well done. I think usually you just see one after the other, and this was way more interesting visually.
Yeah, it was very popular. Like we say, it kind of matched the tone of the episode and the kind of the fun of it, because it was it was very sort of energetic, and it kept that going, and and I think it maybe cheated a little bit with some of the, because I think later on, like, I was even starting to question at one or two points, like, does Michael just remember now? Because it was just like cutting to her knowing things, but you could kind of just tell they were cutting past the Stamets comes over and tells her.
I agree. It was starting to felt like, I was like, is she remembering this? It's just, I was going just a touch too quick at times.
Yeah, so I think maybe in those instances, just like, again, just montage style, have a quick shot of like Stamets talking to her, and that's like, okay, fine, right?
I think, always, because they kind of started overlooking most of the stuff at the start.
Yeah.
I think maybe they always at that point needed to just show Stamets talking to her and just a look of understanding, and maybe it can, she can understand quicker and quicker. But I think it always has to have that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a little complaint, but there was just the last couple of loops, because it was so quick at the start of them. I thought, oh, is she just remembering now? And I don't think she was. She wasn't, because she wasn't remembering the kiss
definitely not,
or the dancing or anything like that. She wasn't remembering any of that stuff. But no, that gave them a sweet moment at the end. And yeah, so no, there you go. It was a solid episode of Star Trek Discovery. Also, am I right in thinking that I think it is? Yeah, Stella, that was Officer Hot from Winona Earp. I thought I recognised her.
Yeah.
I thought I recognised her. They were hiding her ginger hair a little bit. I think she had like a dark hair wig on. So, but she said that was the trick. Change the hair colour.
I don't know. It was relatively ginger.
Was it? I can't remember. Maybe it was. Maybe it was just a darker red. I can't remember.
It might have just been the lighting in the room.
Probably. So there you go. That is Star Trek Discovery Episode 7. So let us know what you thought of it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on Twitter at mild_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mildfuzztv. And you can do that over there. You get some bonuses and stuff. Just a side note, there's a good chance that if you're watching these reviews, you also enjoy our Star Trek The Original Series reviews that we're doing weekly right now. There will be a week without an episode next week on YouTube, so just warning for that. It's just busy schedule. We're having to take 1 week off from it, but we'll be back the following week. And then obviously Patreon gets them a week early as one of the perks, so they're not having one this week, but they will have one next week, and it's like a knock-on effect. So
just blame Netflix.
Blame Netflix for giving us too many binge style shows. But otherwise, guys, that is us. So thank you once again for watching. Keep watching TV. We'll see you next time. Have you got any vanilla?